Whether it's a paper cut or torn trousers or a button that pops off in the office, all kinds of disasters can happen that you have to survive. So I'm going to show you today what my office survival kit is all about.
Okay, so clearly in an office survival situation, which is where I guess most of us find ourselves every day, or if you go to school, I guess you could use the same type of setup I have here. You need other stuff than in a jungle survival, or when you go hiking in forests or whatever. So I put together this kit, and I based it, this little box is one of the B.R.E. Scout Essentials kits. You can't really see that, there's a sort of cross here, and here are emergency signals. But what I did is I just put some military spec duct tape around this, couple of feet. Duct tape is always useful. Make emergency repairs, it's even in an office, I think it's very good. If you need to tape a box together, which one of my colleagues recently had to do, it's useful. Alright, so this is a nice little plastic container, and it's one of the Gerber Bear Grylls products, and I loved what was in there. But what was in there is a small knife, a little flashlight, a button compass. I put most of that stuff in other survival kits. This is something I keep in a desk drawer in the office, and I'm going to show you what's in there. It's a pretty nice container actually, that holds quite some stuff, two plastic bits. It slides open, and in there is quite a lot of goodies, I would say. Let's go through it, and let's just see what I would consider useful in office survival. First of all, there's a small roll of medical tape. That's a sort of paper tape, and in there, I don't know how well you can see that, is a little safety pin with quite some red electrical tape wrapped around it. Electrical tape is very useful. You can reuse it a few times. It's nice and red, bright. If I have to, if I have to use it for signaling, that's good. And otherwise, I can just use that to make some small repairs or put things together. And medical tape, always useful. That sort of paper tape. Again, you could make some repairs, but mainly useful for first aid things. Okay, here I have one small roll of bandage. You can see this is taped together. What I did is I just took a pin. This stuff is sterile, and I just pierced the little plastic wrapper and then squeezed the air out, and then put this little bit of tape over it. This would not be in direct contact with a wound, so I don't think it has to be sterile completely. And I did sterilize the needle before I pierced it, so. But this wouldn't be in direct contact with a wound. But if you do have a bigger wound, it's good to have some bandage wrappings. Okay, here I have two scalpels. These are actually not regular scalpels. These are scalpels used to cut stitches if you have sutures. So they have a little hook on them, but they are very, very sharp. They're disposable, and they are sterile. This is not something I expect I'll have to use a lot, especially not in the office, but if you do have to make a cut, there is no other cutting tool at hand, then you could use those, and they're very, very flat. As you can see, they take up no space. Here we got two alcohol swabs. Here we got two more alcohol swabs. It's very useful. Clearly in a survival situation you can use them to start a fire. It's alcohol, but this is really for disinfection. Always useful in the office if you do get a cut. It's easy to use. I guess easier than carrying a little bottle of liquid disinfectant, so I like that. Okay, then we have another alcohol swab. These are from various sources, but as I said, these things are very useful. You can't have too many. So two more. And then there is some more stuff in here. I'm just going to pull some random things out. This is a I would say relatively well-stocked sewing kit. I think actually I got the little sewing kit from a hotel, but you got some gray, brown, black and white sewing cord. You've got a needle. It won't work on leather, but if you have a small rupture in your trousers, it can be very embarrassing. You can put it back together with this. If a button pops off, have a couple of buttons in there, a bunch of safety pins. You never know, and especially in the office, you go to an important meeting, the button of your pants pops off, very embarrassing, and you can do something about it with this. Okay, this is something else I got from a hotel. It's just a very small beauty kit. We have 4 Q-tips, we have a small nail file, and 3 balls of cotton. I won't have to mention the obvious use of cotton in survival, start a fire, but I mean, this really for me is, in this case, a bit of beauty prepping. If you've got an itch in your ear, you can use the Q-tips. You can file your nails. You know, sometimes you get one of those little hooks in your nails, very annoying. You've got that, and cotton is always useful for, you know. You can even use this in combination with the medical tape to make a emergency band-aid by just putting it on the wound. Use a swab, clean the wound, put a ball of cotton on it, and then tape it in place with this. Especially if you have a bigger wound that's bleeding heavily, you can do that. Clearly you should seek medical attention when you have that, but you know, in the office, if it's not too terrible, you can do quite a lot of things yourself. Here we got yet another alcohol prep pad, and here we have what is pretty much the bulk of the office survival kit. We've got a whole bunch of different plasters, band-aids, smaller ones, bigger ones, round ones, small elongated ones. These are not butterfly sutures, but they will take care of a small wound. What do you do in the office? Paper cuts, right? I don't necessarily get a paper cut every week, but that is, I think, a big risk, between quotes, in the office. And this is something, you know, just patch yourself up. Again, if you have to go to an important meeting and your finger is bleeding, you bleed all over your suit or whatever you're wearing, annoying, simple to carry this stuff. Alright, then I have a small, this looks very enigmatic. This is just a number of a protocol that I'm running with where we test participants with medication. This is a bit of moleskin, very simple stuff. You have a blister, you clean the area, you put this on. This is very soft material that will stop rubbing on the blister, which relieves pain. You can see I've cut out a small corner. This stuff will last you for a long time. And you know, if you are in the office, you have to walk to whatever, another company, another meeting, you have to, you know, go outside, whatever. You've got a blister, can be annoying, and so you can just take care of that. And then finally, oh no, not finally, I have 2 more items in here. This I'll count as 1. These are just small compresses, just little 2x2s. If you have a bigger wound that a plaster, a band-aid cannot take care of, clean it with an alcohol swab. Put this on, and then put a bandage around it. Now clearly, if it's so serious, if it's too serious, clearly you need medical attention, but you know, if you have a bigger cut, you know what I mean, you can still do it yourself. Now the final thing I have in my kit is very useful, just a pair of tweezers. These are pretty nice, cut at a slanted angle. I always love that. That makes it easy to get thorns out without actually pinching your skin. You know, thorns, splinters, whatever stuff you may encounter in an office or whatever setting you've got, you can pull it out. Or, you know, if you have to do something difficult to get a needle in your thread or all kinds of stuff, a pair of tweezers always very useful. And all of that goes together in this little kit. There are emergency signaling things in this orange thing, which I've put my duct tape over. If I need to read those, I'll tape off the duct tape and hope I won't rip off that stuff. But I'm assuming in the office I won't need to know how to make emergency signals. If I do, I have to whip out my bigger survival kit. So, quite compact. Put it in an office drawer, forget about it. But if you do need it, then you have stuff to take care of small wounds, etc. So I always carry this, or I don't actually carry this, just put it in office. I hope this was useful, guys. If you have any other ideas, suggestions, what else you could put in here, sure, just share them in the comments. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.